The Earth has been beautifully constructed, but many people don't realize our dependence on an unlikely yet essential creature in our world. This important insect is the honeybee. Everyone knows that honeybees produce honey, but is that their only function, and are they really that beneficial to humans? By all means, and I am here tonight to inform you on the beauties of beekeeping. According to L.L. Langstroth and other archaeological evidence, humans have been beekeepers for thousands of years. But it never really was a dependable occupation until 1852, when a man named Lorenzo Loraine Langstroth invented a patent for building a certain type of a beehive. Dewey M. Carey, author of The Honeybee Biology of Beekeeping, refers to Langstroth as the father of modern beekeeping, and this is definitely true. He did many influential things for beekeeping during the 1850s. Indeed, today, virtually all beekeepers use the Langstroth model as their hive. And I'll show you, I have a Langstroth hive, and I'd like to kind of show you some of the specifics on it. This is the frame, a bee frame, and on the frame you can see there's the honeycomb, and you can see the hexagonal shape of each cell. This is where the bees do all of their work. This is kind of their ground, where they will lay eggs in it, they will store their honey in it, and their pollen and propolis and other things, and this is really where they do all of their work. So there's 10 of these things inside of a box. This box is called a super, and there's several supers will make up an entire colony. So you'll just stack them up on top of each other. So this is what Langstroth designed, a certain type of design, and since then it's enabled commercial beekeeping and really made the success of beekeeping, and that's why we're able to have honey on the counter today, because of how productive it's been. Also, if you do beekeeping, you'll need a veil. The veil is very important because it gives you protection from the bees. And just a side note, I use this hive tool because bees stick everything together, so it's easy to use this to pry things apart. But as I said, this Langstroth hive is a model that was very influential in beekeeping, and what beekeepers, virtually all of them, use that today. Beekeeping is a really fascinating hobby. Approximately 50,000 bees will be inside a colony like this. There's a queen, the workers, and the drones. The queen there's only one queen in a colony, and her role is to lay eggs. She does that very well. She lays about 2,000 eggs every day. And then there's the workers. They make up the largest portion of the bees. They do all of the hard grunt work. They go and gather nectar, they gather pollen and propolis, they guard the bees, they are the protectors of the hive, they are the nurse bees. They pretty much do all of the physical labor in the colony. There's also the drones in the colony. They make up a small percentage of the colony, and they really only have one role. That is to occasionally mate with a virgin queen if the need arises. But other than that, the drones just kind of bumble about in the colony and hope to get fed. They really don't do anything else. So as you can see, there's the queen, the worker, and the drones, and they all work in harmony with each other. Bees are social creatures, and they each give their lives for the common good of the colony. The queen will live to be a couple years old, and the worker only lives to be about 35 days old, only about a month, because she literally works herself to death, because she works so hard. But like I said, they're social creatures, and they do everything, give their lives even for the benefit of the colony. So we all know that bees make honey, but they also make many other products other than honey. They gather pollen. They use pollen in the same way that we use bread. They use it for about everything. We found ways to get that pollen. Pollen is gathered from the flowers, and they make it into these tiny little pellets, and we found ways to use those pellets and eat them. And actually consume those pellets is really great for treating allergies. It's also great for just general nutrition, because it has a lot of enzymes and natural amino acids within it, and it's a high protein food, which makes it beneficial for bodybuilders. Some people use it for muscle building even. Another element bees gather and create is called propolis. Propolis you probably have never heard of before, you might have, but propolis is it's kind of like a gum-like substance, and it's used for kind of the cement inside the hive. They use it to fill any cracks and kind of structurally build their colony to make it strong. And we found that if you actually consume propolis as a substance, it's really, really great for preventing diseases. A source online, WebMD, describes the uses of propolis, and they say, quote, "Propolis is used for canker sores and infections caused by bacteria. It's great for uses like viruses and for uses against fungus. It's also great for cancer of the nose and throat, for boosting the immune system, and also as an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory agent. As you can see, propolis has a lot of different uses, and I've also heard it's used as a great skin care product and used for treating all sorts of skin problems. So those two elements are something that bees create. Probably the most common element that bees create, the unique element that they create, other than honey, is called beeswax. You've probably heard of beeswax. Beeswax, if you've ever bought it before, you know that it's come directly from the bee itself, because humans have no way of replicating beeswax. It's unique entirely to the bees themselves. They gorge themselves on honey, and after gorging themselves on honey, they begin to secrete wax from the wax glands. It's estimated they eat about 6 to 8 pounds of honey for every pound of wax that they create. It's a very unique substance, and it's great. They use that for building their comb. As you can see, the honeycomb, that's what they structurally build and store all their eggs and honey in. But we can use that for polish, for making candles and soaps and lotions and lip balms and many other products. It's a great organic substance. You know, I've been a beekeeper for many years, and so it's really fun to see all the different products that bees make. And it's really fascinating to see their complex lives. Excuse me. They're just really fascinating creatures. I love to occasionally, like when I'm in a hive, I love to just pull out the frame and open it up and look, and you can see the different stages, developmental stages of the bees. You can see there'll be, maybe over here will be some of the rice-shaped eggs that are just laid, and maybe over here there'll be some of the pupa of just the C-shaped pupa of the eggs. And then as they grow older, they'll be turned into larvae. And maybe at the very edge, you might see some that are all capped over and chewing their way out of the hive, getting ready to hatch and become new bees. It's really a fascinating substance. Nobody ever tells them that they have to get up and go to work in the morning. They have this just incessant ability to be productive and to continually be effective and provide life. So in conclusion, we've learned many things. First, beekeeping's been going on for many different years. It's not something that's a new hobby, but people have been doing it for thousands of years. Langstroth was very influential in the beekeeping world. His model is primarily what people use today. Secondly, bees are essential for the success of the world as we know it. You may kind of wonder why, but I was looking in an article from Nature Conservancy describes that the service of bees, and they describe it by saying something very well, and I'd like to quote from them. They say, the monetary value of honeybees as commercial pollinators in the United States is estimated at about $15 billion annually. And without them, and their uses of crop pollination, farmers and they make up about 80% of all crop pollination, and without them, farmers and consumers would be at a very significant loss. So as you can see, honeybees are really essential to the essential aspect for humans. For without them, we really would suffer. In conclusion, beekeeping is really a wonderful opportunity to spend time just in the beautiful creation. So whatever your occupation or whatever your schedule, take some time thinking about how bees have really affected and impacted your life personally, whether it's through the foods you eat or through the products that you use. Maybe consider supporting a local beekeeper by purchasing his honey products, or maybe plant a patch of clover and watch the bees continue their productive lifestyle as they create life for many years to come. Thank you very much.